So I've just finished this book and I very, very much liked it. This is called The Last Time I Saw Him by Rachel Abbott. Murder was never the plan. That is the hook that is seen at the top of the book. It's a very, very good book. I think Miss Abbott, has done very well to do this. As you can see, it's got quite a few incredible reviews from other people. I don't particularly know who they are, to be honest. I'm not someone who kind of reads books based on their author. So I finished this book in about 2 weeks, which is usually a good sign, telling me that this is a good book and that I really, really enjoyed it, which I did. Basically, the whole story is centered around the murder of this guy called Ellis, and you can see that he gets murdered quite early on in the story, which is quite strange because you only learn more about him after he's dead, which is quite funny. And you realize that in the story there are multiple people with a motive and an alibi against him, and it's quite strange because as the story goes on into the latter parts, you kind of understand who does it, and in the end you realize that the person who does the murder, is never really the point of the story. And there is definitely a big plot twist, probably about sort of around here, chapter 47, page 265. This is a rough idea, but that's when you kind of understand that there's other things working in the background that you didn't really understand to begin with. And I think that's where the beauty of this book really comes into play. It's about 350 pages long-ish. Again, it's set in the modern time and it doesn't really use much big words or big metaphors or anything like that. So it is quite simple to understand and to follow along. And unlike another murder mystery book that I've read, this doesn't actually have that many characters, I would say. I think there's only about 5 or 6 main characters that you should be aware of throughout the story, but for the most part it's actually quite a tight circle that they operate in. So I really enjoyed that. And yeah, there's definitely a few moving parts, so try this out. I think it's a very good book. I think Rachel Abbott did very well. Yeah, go read it.